guys, this is Dan Seifer from MobileBurn.com, and this here is the new BlackBerry Torch 9850 for Sprint. This is the first all touchscreen BlackBerry to come out for Sprint, and it is the BlackBerry with the largest touchscreen on it, and it is running BlackBerry's latest OS 7. So let's take a look at this guy. First thing that you'll notice, obviously, is a 3.7-inch touchscreen display here. Now this is a WVGA, so it's got 800 by 480 pixels of resolution, so it's a bit higher than the touchscreen, higher resolution than the touchscreen found on the older Storm models that we saw on Verizon Wireless. And the touchscreen is not a SurePress model. If you notice here, it is flush with the screen. It does not, or it is flush with the rest of the phone, and it does not click in like the older SurePress screens did on the Storm models. The body of the phone itself, the screen kind of curves over into it, so it feels very fluid. RIM calls that a waterfall effect, but it does not have any motion parts as far as that goes. Down at the bottom, you've got your standard BlackBerry buttons for your send key, menu key, optical trackpad, back key, and hang up key. That also acts as your power key. Up top, you've got the notification light, your ambient light sensors in there, and then your earpiece as well. On top of the phone, you've got a lock key there that will act as a mute key if the phone is ringing and it's in a holster or pocket. At the bottom, you've got a microphone and what looks to be like a loudspeaker there. Taking a look at the side, the Torch 9850 is about 11.5 millimeters thick, weighs about 135 grams, so it's got a solid weight to it. It's not one of the heaviest smartphones on the market, though. You got this kind of chrome rim that goes all the way around the phone itself. And then on this particular side, you've got the micro USB charging and syncing port. The other side of the phone features a couple of buttons here. You got your convenience key here, which by default is set to open up the camera. Then you've got a volume up and down rocker and a convenience key in the middle there. And you've got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. If we look at the back of the phone features a metal battery cover here that has a kind of a soft touch coating on it, so it feels very nice in the hand. Gives you a little bit of grip when you're holding the phone, as opposed to the glossy front, which is a bit slippery, but will attract a lot of fingerprints. Now, looking at the top of the back, we've got a 5 megapixel camera. This features autofocus and a flash. This has autofocus, whereas the 9900 or 9930 does not have autofocus, but the Torch 9850 and 9860 do. Underneath the battery cover here, take off the metal back plate here, we've got the battery itself, which is a 1230 milliamp hour battery, which RIM says you should be about 6.8 hours of use of talk time out of in between charges. Next to that up here is the slot for the micro SD card, which is an 8 gigabyte micro SD card is pre-installed, and the 9850 also has 4 gigabytes of user available storage out of the box internally. Let's see if we can get this battery out here. There we go. And then the underneath the battery, you've got access to the SIM card here. So if we pull this, let's see if we can get this out. Here we go. If we pull that lever back, you can access the SIM card because the 9850 is a global device, so it'll work on Sprint's CDMA network as well as GSM networks overseas. It is firmware locked, so you won't be able to use it on GSM networks in the United States, though. The BlackBerry Torch 9850 runs RIM's latest operating system for smartphones, BlackBerry OS 7. It is powered by a 1.2 gigahertz processor and features 768 megabytes of RAM. So it's very fast. As you can see, it's very quick and responsive when navigating through menus and scrolling as well. Everything's going to be pretty familiar to those who have used BlackBerries in the past, except for a couple of different things for the touchscreen. If you check out the universal search up here, this universal search feature gives you an option to search the entire phone or the web or your contacts or whatever it is. Very similar to the universal search options we've seen on iOS, WebOS, and Android. If we open that up, we get a good look at the on-screen keyboard here, which should look familiar to those who have seen the keyboard on the BlackBerry Playbook. It's a similar layout and design. You've got your alternate keys here. And the keyboard is pretty responsive, but you cannot turn on a haptic feedback, unfortunately, so you won't get any tactile feedback when you're using the keyboard. You can turn on a keyboard key noise, but it sounds more like an electronic beep than an actual keyboard click that we might hear with other platforms. The universal search will allow you to search the web or your phone entirely, so if we do a quick search here for Mobile Burn, you can see it pulls up relevant contacts here. It pulls up email accounts. You can use it to browse the web, or you can force it to browse or go search through other applications that you might have installed. Now, RIM says that the browser on BlackBerry 7 is up to 40% faster than it is on BlackBerry 6 and 100% faster than it is on BlackBerry 5. So if we open that up and give that a run, let's see how it works with our website here. Now, right now we are connected to a Wi-Fi network instead of the cellular network, and it does take a minute or two to get the website loaded. And by default, it's loaded our mobile website. And you can scroll even before it's completed loading. Let's get that to go to our full website here. And this is something that we have experienced a number of times with the browser, is that despite the improvements that RIM has made, it still can be quite slow when loading a new page. Once it is loaded, it's very fast to navigate, but that initial load period is longer than we would like to see, and certainly is slower than what we've seen on the iPhone or high-end Android phones. Now that we've got our website loaded, we can scroll around and pinch to zoom, which is pretty smooth, as you can see there. Double tap to zoom will work as well. And we'll reflow the text for you. We can, let's get rid of that ad there. There we go, loaded another article there. And the website will work in landscape mode as well. One of the things that the BlackBerry 7 browser has taken from the BlackBerry Tablet OS, as seen on the Playbook, is the multiple page options. So you can open up another website, and then you can switch between the ones that you have open pretty quickly and easily. Now, the browser does not support Flash, unlike the Playbook. If we take a look at some of the applications that Sprint and RIM have pre-installed on the phone, you've pretty much got your standard BlackBerry applications here, the same text messaging, contacts, calendar, and messages applications that we've seen before. Messages, of course, will integrate all of your messages together in one thread from all your different accounts and services, and you can have it integrate messages from Facebook and Twitter right there as well. Then, of course, you got your BlackBerry Messenger, App World, Facebook, and Twitter are included. This folder here gives you some instant messaging applications. Some productivity applications are here. And you got a Sprint self-service application here. It's really the only thing that Sprint has pre-installed on the phone. There isn't too much else from Sprint. Games, you still got the classic Brick Breaker game. And then you got your social feeds as well, which is kind of aggregates your social feeds together from Facebook, Twitter, and other accounts. And you can add RSS feeds. You can favorite pages, favorite feeds and posts there. And you can flag different posts as well. You can narrow it down to your other services. Phone dialer pad there has been customized for the touchscreen, as you can see. It's nice and large, very easy to type on. As you can see, most everything is pretty fast with BlackBerry 7 and the 1.2 gigahertz processor. As soon as you open an application, it pretty much opens right away. If you hold the BlackBerry button down, you can access your recently accessed applications right there. Very similar to Android's implementation, but BlackBerrys have been doing that for a long time, as we know. The YouTube application here allows you two options. You can directly go to the YouTube website, or you can upload a video directly from your BlackBerry Torch 9850. And of course, you can use the optical touchpad down at the bottom to navigate your settings here, or your applications, excuse me. Up here in the universal search bar is where you would see your notifications if you had a new message or unread messages there. And if you tap the information bar at the top, you can access things like your network settings, Bluetooth settings, and various options quickly and easily. Now if we take a look at the camera that's available on the Torch 9850, we can launch the camera from the convenience key on the side here. There we go. And it's a 5 megapixel camera with autofocus, so as you can see, it will autofocus the lens there before you take the shot. And you also have a flash available. You can see your pictures immediately afterwards in the gallery there. You've got features like pinch to zoom. You can quickly zoom into your photos. You also have a location services, so you can geotag your photos as well. And you got options for a few different settings for the camera. You got automatic face detection, portrait, sports, landscape, party, macro close-up modes, snow, beach, night, and then a special mode for taking pictures of text. They will make text easier to read. So it's a pretty familiar modes for most point-and-shoot cameras. If we switch over to the video camera, we've got a 720p video camera here. You can start and stop your recordings right there on the screen. There you go, and you can play back your video immediately. Start and stop your recordings right there on the screen. So these new BlackBerry 7 devices are the first ones that are able to record in 720p video. And then you can upload that to YouTube or your various social network accounts. So there you have it. It's a BlackBerry Torch 9850 for Sprint. This is this first all touchscreen BlackBerry to be available on Sprint's network. It features a 3.7-inch WVGA touchscreen there. It's got a 1.2 gigahertz processor with RIM's liquid graphics technology. It's about 11.5 millimeters thick. It's not the thinnest phone on the market, but certainly not the thickest. It's got really nice build quality to it. It's very well put together, as we usually are used to seeing from RIM's BlackBerry smartphones. It runs the latest BlackBerry 7 OS, and it features a 5 megapixel camera with autofocus and flash on the back, and it can record in 720p video. So there you have it. It's BlackBerry Torch 9850. It's going to be coming out soon for Sprint. This is Dan Seifert from MobileBurner.com. Thanks, guys.